So I'm sharing my screen. Can someone confirm once you can see my screen?
Yeah, able to view.
Perfect. Yeah. So guys, so how many of you know the actual difference between the different UiPath components? So when we launch UiPath, cloud platform, cloud.uipath.com, this is the automation cloud platform. So there is nothing that to do with this platform other than accessing the other products. UiPath has a lot of products as part of its ecosystem, like which can be used for process automations or testing and AI capabilities and agentic capabilities. So there are multiple things what we have as part of the UiPath automation cloud platform. So this is a menu from where we will be can access all the products, whatever is required. And here, in order to onboard anyone, so maybe this might not be really required for you, but I just want to keep you with that knowledge, how actually the people can be onboarded to this platform. First, from the admin panel only, we can onboard the people to the automation cloud platform. If you are not part of the automation cloud platform, you cannot access any resources related to the UiPath. So in the admin, first at the this we call it as an organizational level, and these are the different tenants. Tenants is nothing but a separation between a different environments. Like in general, you will be having the dev environment, testing environment, QA, staging, and the prod. This is how our application life cycle in terms of the environments will be moving from one environment to the other environment, right? In the similar way, we can isolate these environments not only with respect to uh, access level or even at the data level isolation also will be available. So this is at the org level and these are at the tenants level. First at the organization level, first we need to onboard the users. So we can invite the users and then we can onboard them to this particular platform. Okay. And once we onboard the users to here, to each and every tenant, we can add the people from here, or you can directly add them from the orchestrator as well. But I'll show you a different way, not from here. Okay. And under the services, let us assume that if you see, right, you can see a lot of products, test manager and everything. By default, few products might not be available for you. So under the services, we need to click on add services and select which service you want to have. For instance, if the test manager is not available, we just need to select, let us assume that this is not AI centered test manager, and you just need to select it and click on add. Now I'm just adding them. So once these are got added, you will be getting your so previously we don't have this AI centered document understanding here. So once if I refresh and go, I can see them from the menu. That's how this adding of the services will work. And we can even enable or disable these services as well. Okay. So now we can access any of them from here. And in order to onboard some user to orchestrator or to the test manager. So let us see these two, and the rest everything we can ignore for now. So we can come to the orchestrator. This we call it as an orchestrator where we can, this is much more useful in terms of your process automations. And even for the testing also, up to some extent, it can be helpful as of now. And we doesn't know how it is going to change going further when they are making the changes. So I'll go to the tenant, manage access. From here, I can onboard any of the users. So I can click on users and here I can assign the users once they're onboarded under the organization level here in the user accounts. Got it, guys? And to the test manager, this is the test manager which we launched
Last
here.
point I could not get it.
Which one? Yeah, so into the
Last part.
orchestrator, right? Onboarding the
Yes.
users to orchestrator.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
So
the-
under the
Sorry.
orchestrator, we'll click on the tenant and manage access from users From here, we can assign the user only if the user is already onboarded to Automation Cloud Platform from here at the organization level after inviting.
So this we will do for team level, like if we want to add anyone from our team or
Any
how.
user, like I want to onboard Gokila to test manager. Okay, let us take the example of it. And first I
Mhm.
need to invite her with her email ID. By providing basic membership is good enough. If I want to give any group access, I can give it. Like in terms of the role, what role I want to onboard, right?
Okay.
Ideally, we will never give anyone the administrators from here, because if we give it from here, then they can control entire cloud platform. So ideally, we will never do it. Okay, like that, like we can select the user permissions. And if not, you can just simply onboard them, and you can come back to the orchestrator, and here you can provide the role, whatever the access you want to give.
This could be done by the admin alone,
Admin,
right?
admin, admin. So
Okay.
I'm saying that this is not really required for you, but I just
Okay.
want you to have a knowledge of at a
Got
side,
it.
that like how the
Got it.
users can be onboarded to this platform.
Got it.
And when
But
you,
this orchestrator, we have signed in with our credentials, right? So
yeah,
in that case, why we are inviting somebody, because somebody will
I'll,
also log in
I'll
with
got,
their
I'll got,
credential.
I got your point. As of now, you logged in with your credentials because only you are working on your projects. But in an organization, I cannot allow everyone to use their own IDs or own separate tenants or separate instances, right? At an organization
Yes.
level, I can add the people inside of the organization into one UiPath cloud platform, right? It's a collaborative
Okay.
task. So in that case, I can onboard
Hmm.
them with this. I cannot give access to 100 people if 100 people are working in my company. Only 5 people who works on this platform, I can invite them, right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Related to project, we can do.
yeah. So to access the orchestrator, we need to onboard them from here. Sorry, manage access, tenant, manage access, users. So from here, I can onboard them. And this is just to access the orchestrator. And for the test manager, I need to go to the settings. Here, role assignments. Here, I can onboard the users. So we will be having different permissions. So if I come here, I have a project creator access, admin access, executor access, designer access, viewer, manual tester, owner, test manager. So I have different roles defined. Unless you are supposed to create a project, I will not assign this. So based on the role where the employee is going to work, based on that, I'll be assigning these roles to them. So let us assume that I just gave you viewer access to Gokila. She cannot create a project. If I give test designer, test executor, manual tester, viewer, all these, right? You cannot create unless you have an admin or creator role. You cannot create a project. Got
So
it?
these roles we can create ourselves.
Yes. Whenever I'm onboarding someone, the user, whoever is there, I can give the access here. If I'm not selecting either of these two, they will be normally get added. And from the role assignment, I can change it. Sorry, from the platform role assignments, I can change whatever the user they want, I want to give them. Got it?
Okay, but these roles like project creator, test designer, viewer, these are by default present in test manager, right?
Yes. And even I can create a new role also based on what permissions I want to give them.
Okay.
Okay?
New role also we can create. I mean, if you want
Yeah, new
new.
roles we can create.
Okay.
Yeah, cancel. And this is how we will
Create
be
role. Okay.
onboarding the users to the test manager.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
I'm coming back now. This is at the test manager level permissions. And when you create a new project, so I'll just delete this. So I'm just creating a project, UI bank application testing. So we need to give the prefix because this serves as a unique identifier for all of your projects. Like in case if you have 10 projects, this prefix will be always unique. Okay. So I'll say the description that this project, test automation project, is created for testing UI bank web application at cross browser along with functionalities based on requirements. Okay, I'll create this project. So once I have created the project, I'm landing on the project page. I can switch between the projects, whatever the projects I have. And if I click on this test manager logo, I can come to all the projects. I can even mark some projects as favorite as well. Okay. And let us assume I created this project, like Pathrudu created this project. Okay. Other than the admin and Pathrudu, no one will have access to this project. And no one can access this project or they cannot see the project as well. Only the test manager admin or Pathrudu can see this because Pathrudu created this project. So in case I want to give access to Gokila or Leela, so I need to go on to project settings. And here under the manage access, I need to assign that user by providing the permissions. And as of now, if you see here next to my name, there is something called as a project owner. In case if I want to add, let us assume that I created this project and we executed for a while, like 3 months or 4 months, and the project is running good, and I moved out of the organization. So I am having the entire control of this project, but I need someone else to do it. So I need to onboard them with the project owner permission. And let us assume I onboarded someone else with a different permission, but again, I can modify that from here itself. So to give you a very clear-cut clarity, let me do one thing. I will onboard one user. With normal permissions. Click on invite. Close. So when I refresh this, I could able to see that there is another user which is got added, invited, but they didn't accept it. In order for them to accept it, they need to accept it. So I'm opening my Outlook. So I was got invited. Now I need to accept this invitation. So let me open this. I'm not sure whether it will go to, oh, it's going to here. Sorry. What I will do is I'll just copy link and I'll open it in the Edge. Continue with UiPath. I can create my own password. Click on create account. Basic authentication is disabled for this user. Go with single sign-on. Okay, I'll go with this. So there are some settings which I made in the organization level. Also, it will be SSO only, single sign-on only. Okay, I'll path do at outlook.com. Click on next. Click on next. So successfully, I could able to onboard this particular user. Okay, now I'll go here. I can see all the products, test manager. creation of the project. Okay. But I cannot see the admin and all. So let me come back here. I cannot see the admin here because I haven't onboarded that with the admin. So now I'll come back here under the test manager, all projects. I cannot see it. What it was created. Oh, sorry, this is a different environment. See, I created this, but I don't have. Okay, I got the options. Let me delete it. Okay, one second. I'll change it to the prod. All projects. See, tenant is production, which I selected. Here is the production. I have a project, but still I could not able to see with the other login, right? And I can create a new project. Under the test manager. Let me refresh this. I can see both because I have this login where I'm going with the Google Chrome, right? I have the admin privileges. I can see it. I can delete it. Whatever I want to do on top of this project, I can do it. But here it is not this, whatever I created with admin, wherever. So here I could not able to see. So how I can give access to this particular user, right? So I can come here under the project settings, manage access. I can assign the user KL path. I'm giving only viewer access. Now I'll go to the edge and I'll refresh. Now I can see this. If you see here, I could able to see more options, but here I cannot see it. If I go inside of it, I can see everything, but I cannot do anything. The views will be different. Here I just have only views, right? Under the requirements. If I go to the Chrome, if I go to the requirements, I can create the requirements because the permissions are given just to view. Again, I can change that user permissions. I can come here. I can click on edit roles and I can give any role, whatever I want to give. So I can give it as a project owner. So now even in the edge also, I can see everything. Now I can create the requirements. This is how we can give access to our project, access to other team people, other employees in our team with the help of project level settings. So this will be project specific. The roles or permissions to any of these will be project level. So is it clear, guys?
Yeah.
So this is how we will be onboarding the users. So now I will completely move out of this edge. I'll go with only single instance. I don't want you to get confused. I'm removing this user for time being. Okay. So this is all about the how we will be onboarding users to orchestrate automation cloud platform, orchestrator, and also to the test manager, and we will give the access to the project level. So this is more of in initial things. Okay. Now, what I need to do, precondition. So before I go into test manager or anything, we are building an automations, right? So we need to connect our UiPath Studio to your UiPath Automation Cloud platform and also robot, correct?
Yeah.
So how we are going to do that? So let me open my UiPath Assistant. So I'll go to my here preferences, orchestrator settings. This is completely connected to a different environment altogether. This is not cloud. So I generally work on this environment majority of the times because I'll get the latest features. So I'm just disconnecting it. Okay. And I'll close this. And now I'll try to open UiPath Studio and see how it is behaving. It is not working out. So I need to sign in. If directly I can sign in and I can use it if I'm using it only for the development. In case if I want to execute my automations or test cases, either from the orchestrator or the UiPath test manager, sign in alone will not help me out. So the ideal way or the best way to connect your system to UiPath is with the UiPath assistant. So from here, I want to connect. So first, when you open, right, it will look like this. And you need to click on this human icon, click on preferences and orchestrator settings. Either you can sign in with the help of service URL or machine key you can give or client ID. So the best way I always prefer is to go with the client key. So how I can add this machine to my UiPath orchestrator. So I'll come here. I'm I'm really sorry guys. Since a long time I'm just going on the production tenant. This is testing tenant. Let me see why it is, because I have enabled development production, and let me see the license allocations. How did I give? I gave all the licenses here only. Then why I'm just going with the other? I want to disable some tenants. For time being, what I will do is the better way is to delete all the tenants. Settings, advanced. No. Settings, I can disable this for being. I can disable this. I'm just keeping only one tenant. Now I'll go here, refresh this, go home page. I'll go to the orchestrator, which is under the development. Here also, I'll just copy this name. Okay, I can create again, but that's not a problem. So I'll just need to change it to the development. See, based on the license we are giving, right? So based on that, it will be license allocations. I'll show you that under this licenses, I allocated it to everything to the dev. So if I come here, I'm just disabling other two because we have limited resources. And of course, you're also going to work on the single tenant, correct, right? So forget about whatever I have done right now. I will be going in single tenant now. So this is going to be my orchestrator. This is going to be my test manager. And now under the tenant, I'll go to the machines and here I'll be adding that machine. Okay. So I'll just first delete this. I'm deleting all the existing as of now. I want to show you from the beginning how we are going to do. So this is my machines and I can simply click on this. I can create machine template and I can give that paths machine. And here runtimes we need to allocate. So obviously we need a one testing runtime. So I'll tell you what is runtime. So if I want to execute the automations either from the orchestrator or the test manager, the test automations, I need to have a runtime license allocated. So for the RPA, like where the business processes or enterprise automations are running, for that we need a production license, which is unattended, the above one. And if you are running your automations in the test environment just for the testing purpose, or if you are running your test cases, then you need a testing license. Why I don't want to use the unattended licenses for testing also? Very simple reason. The cost difference is too huge. Let us assume that if this is $10,000, then this will be only $2,000. So that's the cost difference we have. Can't we use these testing licenses for running the production also? You can use, but if something breaks out in the production, then that's going to be an escalation, right? For that reason, the test robots are used for only testing purpose. And we can go to the maintenance. So in case So if you see, right, you came across multiple UiPath licensing versions, right? Like 23.10, 24.4, 24.10, 25.4, like that. So whenever as latest versions are getting released, if you select from here, your robot or studio will be automatically upgraded to the latest patch or the latest version or a specific version if you select. So you can do your upgrades directly from the orchestrator itself. So for now, I just keep it as it is. Account machine mapping, we can select if required. So I can say that, oh, still I am using Ash. Okay. So we can just create one robot user ID and we can assign that. So I'll select this and click on provision. So whenever I'm triggering on this template, only this account user will be utilized. So that's how this account user mapping will be working. So click on provision. And now I got the client ID, client secret, right? So what I need to input, orchestrator URL, client ID and client secret. So I'll go to the URL. I'll put this URL and I need to give the client ID and client secret. Client ID and
Okay,
clients.
I'm having one doubt, Pankaj,
Yes.
actually. As we can execute the, whatever we need to be run, that we can be done through Orchestrator itself, right? So why we need to go with this UI assistant specifically? I didn't get.
So see, when you execute from the orchestrator,
Mm.
it needs to be triggered on the machine, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So how the machine orchestrator and your machine will get communicated? That's how the connection between your UiPath assistant and the orchestrator will play a role. UiPath assistant is nothing but your robot agent with some more additional functionalities.
Yeah, but I'm not clear. I mean, why we are.
Okay, I got your question. Okay.
Yeah,
So I'll just take that question once this is done. Okay. Will
yeah,
that
yeah,
work?
sure, sure,
Sure.
yeah, yeah.
Click on connect. So now it is getting connected. So you are getting this, but it is properly got connected and the license is also allocated. Why you are getting this is because the installation, what we did is for the studio. So till the time you get the studio and all, it will behave like that. So first I'll click on sign out. I'll come back. I'll see it is disconnected, connected as an unattended. So we allocated unattended license. That's why we are getting this. So now when you say connected as an unattended license, this robot isn't connected to your orchestrator. Now we are good to trigger our automations on this machine from the orchestrator. So the connection, whatever we just made, actually establishes the integration between your orchestrator and your machine. So whenever you trigger something from the orchestrator, that sends the signals to this robot agent, UiPath assistant, and this will pick up that automation and run it. So is my this explanation answers your question?
You're
Hello?
asking to me? Yeah.
Yes.
No, I am not clear. Still, I'm a little bit, I'm
Okay.
confused.
Okay. See, you want to run something from the orchestrator, right?
Yes, yes.
Where it will be running?
Uh,
On a virtual machine or on
yes,
your machine or somewhere, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Then how that virtual machine is connected to your orchestrator? That will get connected with the help of UiPath Assistant. You should connect somewhere, right? Because you are
Yes.
saying that like cloud.uipath.com, which is hosted on some cloud or cloud environment, and your machine is completely on some other environment. How these two are going to talk to each other?
No, in that VM, if I'm connecting in that VM, in the Internet Explorer or Edge, I'm just opening there. I can
Agree,
call this,
agree. Yeah,
yeah,
agree.
orchestrator
But when you
link, and I
run,
can be run it, right?
see,
Yeah,
when you want to run,
yeah.
you're just accessing the browser, but where your automations will run? It's not on the browser, right? It should be on the machine.
It should.
End of the story.
Yes,
This
yes,
is
yeah. I mean, no. I mean, there itself we can view it, right? So that I didn't get clearly. So in orchestrator, we are running means it will be run there. There itself we can view it, right? So there we watch what actually it is. The
correct.
robot is
I
doing
agree.
everything. Yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
But at the same time, your
yeah.
automation will need to run in order to see your logs from the orchestrator, right? Where that automation will run, it will be on a VM somewhere.
Okay. Yes, yes, yeah.
So in order to run your automations, you need UiPath Assistant.
Okay.
And this connection makes sure that whatever the automation you are trying to execute will be sent signal to this UiPath Assistant and it will be running on that machine.
Okay.
Got it? If you still have question, just keep that question with you for some more sessions. So you
Sure,
once we start executing, you'll get to know.
sure, yeah. Because
Okay?
I just used this UiPath assistant
I know.
just before. Yeah, that's why I was confused.
I got it. I got your question. I can completely understand. So that's where I'm saying that, like, hold on for some sessions when we
Yeah,
start
sure.
executing something from the orchestrator, you can see that, like,
Sure.
whenever I trigger something, you'll get a
Yeah.
green icon in the bottom, which is actually running. Okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So now I'm coming back, exit preferences and all, and I'll come back to the machines. So only one machine is there, which is of template, and I have the installed versions and everything is there. If I click on edit machines, I can see that one unattended license is there. But now still I cannot do the development on my studio because the development license is user specific, whereas the robot license is machine specific. Okay. Like a unattended or a test robots are machine specific, whereas the development is user specific. So what I need to do is I need to sign in, open UiPath. Now it is getting logged in with my user and my user is allocated with the development license. So if I come back here under the manage access users. So this is my user, edit. I'll change this credentials anyhow now. I'll change it, this robot user credentials to my machine. So not here. I can go to automation developers group, edit. Oh, where I need to see groups, automation developers. Cancel. Under the users, the roles. This is my user. Inherit the license from users group. So maybe this user is already part of that automation developer, or else we can select this. So based on this automation setup only, we will get the license to the user. Group access. Somewhere it will be there. I completely see there are some new things got added because of that. Like maybe I could not able to see it, but the user is added to that, or else like we will not get the license acquired. This is the roles. Okay, we will change these credentials for now, and I'll let you know, guys, from where we can see that like which user is assigned to which group. I think it's at the admin level. Let me see. Accounts and group users, groups, automation developers. See, here the user is already assigned. For that reason, it already got the license. It is not required for you guys for sure. Admin team will take care, or UiPath expert will be taking care of it. But from the testing
I didn't
perspective,
get actually. I know whatever the things you are saying, right? It's literally confusing. I didn't
see,
get.
even if you're getting confused or even if you're not getting anything out of it, don't worry on that front.
Yeah,
These things, whatever I'm talking to you, is just too good to have.
yeah,
Okay.
understood. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the robot credentials which I need to give. So I need to give the username, domain, and password. Of course, you need to set up for yourself, right? Who's actually set up all this?
Yes.
So the command prompt will be just typing who am I.
Mhm.
So we need to copy this and we'll be providing it here. And we just need to give our own password. Our system whenever we are logging on.
And now actually you are assigning robots are actually robot is user defined as you said, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, as now you are doing that user or robot accounts. What actually you are
So
doing?
you can provide to both. But ideally, when you are running unattendedly on a different machine, then I'll be just going to the robot accounts. Here also I can give. But
Okay,
this is like even to existing users also we can provide it. But unattended executions, it will be always robot users.
okay.
Yeah. I can give it to something else as well. Like for these robots also, I can do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now my robot, I mean like robot and orchestrator got connected. Now if I open my UiPath Studio,
Orchestrator and robot both were connected through UiPath Assistant, or otherwise, I mean, manually you were.
UiPath Assistant only.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So this is my UiPath Studio. Now I'm good to go for building my test automation scripts and running as well. So I can do both now on the same machine. If only to develop, I can just simply go with sign in and use it by assigning that user to a license or a group. And by connecting UiPath Assistant, now I can run automations also from the orchestrator. So our initial setup is completely done. And now if I come to the UiPath Test Manager, we already discussed, right? Like how we will be creating the project, how we are managing the users as well. Correct?
Yes.
Cool. So this is how we will be working on like setting up of our initial base things.
Actually, the users and all we will create through the orchestrator, right? Do we create through test manager as well?
No, no, we will not create the users from the test manager.
Okay.
Only at the project level, we will provide the permissions after onboarding
Okay.
them to the test manager.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we need to have a tour on what is there in the orchestrator for testing, what is there in the test manager for testing. Correct? So once you created the project, there is nothing to do with you in the test manager except from this interface. Because all your project resource related artifacts or configurations or anything will be handled from this particular screen only, not from here. Once you create the project, there is nothing to do with the screen other than accessing your project. Got it?
Yeah.
And now what is there in orchestrator? What is there in the test manager for you? So if I go to any of folders, there is one tab called as a testing. If I click on this, so what I have here is test sets, test cases. I don't think it's really required for me to explain you guys what is what is test case and what is test sets. So as you know, test executions is nothing but the results of the test cases or test sets, whatever we executed. And test schedules is something that we can create a schedule based on at what time you want the test set to be executed. Okay. And test data queues, this is where like for data driven testing, you'll be having different data variations. So you can manage your data variations through these test data queues. So of course, guys, we are going to cover each and everything, but I'm just showing that like what is there in the orchestrator for testing. Except these five artifacts, there is nothing to deal in the orchestrator. Even without touching orchestrator also, we can achieve these things. All these things except the test data queues, because the test data queues were not yet moved to UiPath test manager. So these are the artifacts which we have in the UiPath orchestrator for testing. I'm pretty sure very rare cases as a tester, you will be touching orchestrator. Okay. And the project, UiPath test manager. So here we have four, five, six tabs. And the project settings is completely to manage accesses or integrations, or don't talk about, so sorry, forget about for time being about the prompt library, general and automation. So we'll come back. Integrations is something that like we can connect with the ALM tools. Previously, we used to have a lot, but slowly even these will be taken out. As I said yesterday, day before yesterday, test manager connect will be coming as part of instead of this integration. Slowly, this tab will be moved out.
Okay.
Custom field definitions. These are not required for now, but we will be using them when we want to create a dynamic test set across multiple test cases. We can just simply create the labels or text or something. So we will use them. Prompt libraries, when you want to leverage the autopilot in UiPath, we will be using this prompt library. General settings is nothing but this. Nothing is there. Automation is what automation scripts you built in Studio and published that we will be selecting with this particular project. So we will come back to each and everything. We will not cover the access, manage access, because we already covered, and we will not be covering integrations because it is not required, because there is another product for it. So except these two, all the other things we will be covering as part of our sessions. General, there is nothing. Okay.
Okay.
And executions. So executions, like whatever the test executions happens, the results will be logged into this particular folder. Whenever a test set is executed, all the results will be available here. So for instance, I just go here and I'll see, yeah, these are my test cases. Out of these are passed and this is failed. And I'll go to this failed test case. I can see each and every step, whether it is passed or failed. And I can see the attachments if any attachment is there, right? So we will see once we are executing these and whatever is going on, going further. Just I am giving you a heads up of each and every artifact, what we are going to have as part of our project. Schedules, again, we can create our schedules here, similar to what we have seen in the orchestrator. This is newly introduced in the last month. Prior to that, we don't have the schedules in test manager. We used to rely on only UiPath orchestrator for the test schedules. Insights is something that like we can generate the report based on our executions. This is powered by the generative AI. So once we start with the autopilot and Gen AI capabilities in UiPath, then we will see details of what actually it is giving for us. We can relate them. So it will give us like which is having the more failures and all these scenarios. Test sets, nothing but like we will be creating a set and we will be assigning the test cases. There are two options here. If you see in the above, one is link and the other is to create a test set. So we will be creating the test set by selecting some test cases to it. But whereas link is something that if you see in the orchestrator, you have the test set. We can link this test set to this test manager. So we can create a test set here and then to link it to here. But I'm pretty sure going further, this link option will be deprecated for sure. If I go to the test set, we'll have a lot of details again. For each of these test set, we have what overview like recent executions and all, and test cases, which test cases are assigned to this test set, and the results we can see historical executions. Any supporting documents are available for this. in case if we are creating any custom field definitions, if you see in the project settings we have, so that actually will showcase us here if we assign it to them. And configuration. So this is for the coverage. We will see like how the coverage is also looking at and enforce the execution order. If you see these test cases, it will go on the order of like how the test cases are got created. But for some reason, I don't want to follow that order. I want to have my own order defined. So we can define that order here. By enabling this, we will get all the test cases, whatever we have, and we need to uh, rearrange them. Test cases, as you know, like for every requirement, we may have multiple test cases created for it. Uh, Let us assume that like the positive scenarios and negative scenarios for the same requirement. So we will be creating those test cases, and each inside of this also we will be having multiple. So the manual steps is something that like which can help us to test the manually, application testing manually. So UiPath Test Manager or Test Cloud is not only for the automation testing, even that can be leveraged for manual testing as well. Okay, so we will see like each and everything. Also, we can document these steps with the help of task capture as well. I will skip this because there is nothing much in this, but if you want, I can help you with that, but you can try it out. Okay. Requirements. This is the requirements like which is nothing but the stories created in the Jira, which got reflected to here. And the dashboard. Dashboard will say us like in each and every month historical data, how many are got passed or how many are got failed. And automation rate is how many of your test cases are automated and how many are like don't have the automation scripts. And the
Here I'm
total
having one
coverage,
doubt.
yeah.
Sorry, Patru. Actually, as you said, the requirements is coming from the Jira, right? So whether this got connected to the Jira already?
No, no, no. I just
Okay.
gave you the exact replication that requirements is nothing but the stories created in the Jira in the sense what is your
Okay.
application requirements in module wise. And if you
Okay.
connect, you will directly get it.
Yeah,
But here,
manually also we can create the requirement,
yes,
right? From here.
create
Okay.
requirement. I can give the name, description,
Um,
and then create it.
yeah, I mean, if I mean, how we can be connect this Jira that will be in a separate part. But
Yes, but we don't have access to that application. But I will share you the videos how it actually will be done. In
okay,
case if
okay,
something comes up in your as part of your requirement and if something needs to be done, you can refer to that video.
okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks. So now dashboard. So it will show you that latest execution results. So this is all about the tour on the test manager. And when you click on the search with autopilot, this is one thing which we didn't cover, right? You can simply say that find all the test cases that are manual. So it will show you which test cases are not automated. So when you are running a suite or with 200 test cases or 300 test cases, it is not possible for you to manually go and see, right? So this actually auto search with autopilot will help you to search across all your automation project, testing project. So this is pretty much an overview on UiPath Test Manager and Orchestrator for testing, and also some admin stuff which I actually gave you, which is not required for you, but it's good to have. When you've experienced something that like it is not working out, and let us assume that you're in a team that there is no one who can help you with the admin tasks. You should have at least some base idea, right? For that reason, I gave you.
Okay,
And the robot configuration which I made, right? If that was not done, you cannot run your test cases from orchestrator to your system. So even that is also a challenge. So this is more of a very uh, I think I can say 20 minutes of the session is boring for you, which you already know the artifacts. We just talked about it. And but the thing is, I just showcased you what artifacts are there in the test manager, what artifacts are there in the orchestrator, and some admin stuff, which as of now, I'll say that not required for you, but good to have. But when you are getting experience in UiPath, obviously you'll get to know about those and you must need to have it. Because let us assume that like forget about all these things. Let us assume that you are in a project where there is no one having the knowledge on UiPath. What you need to do, right? So for that reason, whatever the base concept what we have, I just showed you that. That is a minimum criteria to run up and running your test cases. Got it, guys?
Yeah.
Perfect. So what we will do tomorrow is we will jump into the UiPath Studio and we will see what are the testing specific additions to existing UiPath automation platform, so that you'll get a clarity that like these are the additions specific to the test automation and the rest is for the process automation. And whatever is there for the process automation, we will be leveraging as part of our automation testing. Okay.
Okay. Do we have a class tomorrow?
If you want, we can have it because I don't have any problem on tomorrow, but I just leave up to you guys whether you want me to have it on Monday or tomorrow. I'm okay
Yeah.
with both.
Yeah, Monday only, right? As per the plan.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.